All right, so this video has been making the rounds, and I think it's a good example for us to walk through. You guys can maybe see a little bit how I run game and also a little bit of my social vision here.
Excuse me. Hey, I'm just headed to go see my friends. I just thought you were really cute. I just want to say hi. Where are you guys from? Argentina? Oh shit, I thought you guys were Latina. Yeah, you guys are kind of like Latina, sort of. I just moved here from California. Are you just here for vacation or? Oh, that's cool. Maybe one day we grab coffee. Hey, I hope you guys have a great day.
So first things first, I want to get this out of the way. This guy, good on him going in on this. Anytime you go in, that's a win. So I'm not dogging him. The other thing is that he's got to make these decisions in a split second in real life. I'm going to have the advantage of being able to look at this and go through this as an educational thing. So I'm not faulting him. We all have to be able to make those super quick decisions in less than 1 second. And that's the reason that doing this study helps us out so much. So when he comes in, the very first thing he gets is IODs. IOD right here. This is an IOD from this girl in the middle. She gives a very lukewarm, thank you, whenever she gets that. These other girls, these are IODs, right? So she comes in, look at this, she looks bothered when she comes in. This girl over here actually is opened up and is kind of playing with her hair. I think maybe she already was playing with her hair. We don't know. She doesn't seem like she's given IODs, but the other girls are. Watch. This is, I'm bothered, I'm annoyed. This other girl, she barely even looks up. So she's just like, please go away, kind of look on her face. Other girl can't be bothered at all. She's already back on her phone playing with her hair. That's like the most lukewarm response, right? We're going to get back to this later. This is an interesting ping, right? This is information that he should be picking up on. We're going to see what this ping means. This ping is some sort of information to the girl on the other side. This was a smile, right? So it tells you what that information that was received over here was, that ping. So anyways, she responds. So these girls are responsive. One thing I'd mentioned the other day is that, you know, once you get into your mid 30s, like if you're talking to girls at this caliber, unless you're in a country where there's just plenty of them, you may not even get responses from them. Like this is a very normal set once you get to that age range, because they're just not really going to give you a whole lot to work back with. Like the fact that they're even responding is actually pretty good. It's definitely something that we have to work. This was an IOD over here. Whenever she was like, she like looks away. She's like, where are you from? Argentina. And she's like, Switzerland. God, you idiot. Right? But she loves it. She's engaging, right? She's like, oh, wow, he thinks we're Latina. So she's putting in effort here. This is important because the other girls are giving IODs and she's actually helping us out. She's investing in this interaction. She gives this rude look back to this girl saying, I don't like him. Don't reward him. I don't want him sticking around anymore. Let's see this. Let's see this little view here.
Oh, yeah, I thought you guys were Latina. Yeah, you guys.
She's like, fucking stop doing that shit. Like, don't. Look at this face. This is a girl who's open. So every other girl here is giving us IODs. This girl is a girl who is open to the conversation, biting her lip, right? This is, I mean, right now at this point in time, this is really our only option in this, if you're thinking about this purely from a direct standpoint. All right, so let's watch what happens after this.
I just moved here from California.
Boom. This here, this look here, this is a ping. She is getting information from across the circle, right? So she's been kind of bitchy to us and very not giving us a lot. She's been giving us nothing but IODs, but now she's smiling. This smiling is not because of something that we're saying, right? This is her saying, oh, wow, you like this guy. She's getting the information from the other side of the group, like, okay. So now the team, she's thinking like, let me try and help my girl on the other side actually get this guy. Let's look at that look again. It's very obvious.
I just moved here from California. Are you just here for?
This girl is giving nothing. She's giving nothing. She's across the group, right? So he's ignoring the rest of the group to talk to her. He's bleeding a ton of interest. We're about to get into like everything he does wrong here. I'm just trying to get the read right here.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at that. IOD is barely responding, not holding eye contact. She looks off to the right. I mean, this is like textbook girl who just doesn't want you there at all. And you're also making it awkward because You're ignoring all her other girlfriends who seem to be giving you more information for her. So you're putting her in an awkward spot, right? Like you're making her girls kind of not like her, right? Because it's like, bro, like she can kind of tell like the other girls are at least somewhat interested in him, and it's putting her in a weird spot.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe one day we grab coffee.
So
Hope you guys have
he
a
just
good
does the thing where he just shoots his shot and just tries at the very end just for whatever thing that wasn't there. But look at this face right here. Like this girl is like, please don't go. Please, like, look at this. Please don't go.
He's out.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. So let's talk some of the things that he does wrong. High level things. One, he talks too quick. He's not letting his pauses develop. So he's coming in and immediately it's like he's communicating. I'm afraid that you're going to stop listening if I don't rush and get this out. He doesn't let any pauses develop, right? When he asks them where they're from, where are you from, whatever, he just immediately is, oh shit, oh yeah, blah, 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 oh, blah, 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 right? So that's one thing. Next, his thread choice is really poor. It's really kind of questions of doom, right? Like, where are you from? Like, I thought you guys were Latina, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is pretty basic stuff. Like, there's not a whole lot going on here. Another mistake he makes is that he does a direct opener into the group. And when he says it, is like, I just thought you were really pretty, right? Like, no girl in that situation wants to really jump in there and accept that compliment because it's kind of rude to do that. Like, oh, ladies, he was obviously talking to me. Like it puts her in a weird spot, so they don't really know what to do because like, are you talking to me? Are you talking to the whole group? It's they're confused right out of the gate. Another thing is he's just not offering any real value here. We're going to walk through like actually how I probably would have ran this. And you're going to see like there's a lot of ways to have actually created some value here. He's not doing anything. He's just showing up. I'm curious. I'm a guy. I want to talk to you. By the way, I'm going to probably hit you up for your number at the end of this. Like he's not really offering any more than just whatever his raw SMV is, which is clearly not enough except to get maybe the girl on the right. So when he comes in on this and he gets all of these IODs, the thing he needs to do is when we get IODs, we cannot continue to charge into the face of these IODs. Like if they're showing disinterest and we're showing interest, that is massive burden carrying and it's chasing. So as soon as we read those IODs, we need to respond ourselves with some sort of IOD of ourselves. And I'm not talking about like a really like heavy like mystery method neg or something like that. Like the way I would do this is I'm going to withdraw my attention. I'm going to withdraw my attention down the attention hierarchy. So if we think about like whenever the focus that we give, we have, I call it like 3 stages of focus. We have social focus that we can give. We have specific focus, and then we have sexual focus. And each of these are an intensification of the focus that we give. So pure social is like, I'm just talking to you like I would talk to any other guy. Like literally I'm just in my social world where like you're just a stranger, right? Like the way I would literally talk to like a cashier who's a guy whenever I'm checking out at a store. Specific focus is like centered on her, like, oh, you're this, oh, you're like that, oh, you're one of those, oh, you're something like this. We're talking about them, we're talking about her. My interest, my focus is tied to her. The things that are going through my mind, the things I'm thinking about are tied to her. And then sexual focus, obviously we know what that is. And as you intensify that, you show a lot more interest. So when we come in, he comes in immediately with specific focus. He's saying, hey, I just wanted to say that you guys, looked really good. They immediately give IODs to that. He needs to do 2 things. One, he's facing them already. If you continue facing them whenever you're getting all these IODs, it's just going to communicate more interest. So he needs to pivot back out and turn his body language, right? Because that's basically saying, oh, you guys, I'm already about to leave, right? You've already started to lose me. Because they would expect that you're going to start to lose the person if you're rude to them. Like that's a natural thing. If they can be rude to you and not lose you, then that tells you like, okay, cool. They have all of the leverage here and now you're just a chasing guy, right? So he immediately has to face out, pull back, rock away, right? And then what I would do is I'm going to shift my focus from specific focus. Hey guys, I thought you guys were, cute, back up to my social vibe focus, right? So I probably would not have opened direct here, but the way that I would do this is you want to go back up into that social focus. So I probably would have gone with my original opener here. So here's how I actually would have ran this. One, I would not have just dive bombed straight into this. You see how he breaks his path and goes in there? That's already showing a lot of interest, right? I would have probably tried to have gotten my path already over to the right. So that way it looks like I'm kind of just walking down this side here. And then I've accidentally got into this conversation based off of something that I realized I'm going to open from my social focus, not from my specific focus. Right. So what I would probably open with is I would probably stop as if I just realized what was going on. And I would have said, like, what's going on with all the white? Right. Like, and I'm going to hold that pause. So I'm like, what's going on with all the white? Most of them are all going to give me IODs, right? One of them is going to respond. It doesn't matter what they're going to respond with. I'm going to say afterwards, I'm going to be like, did she put you up to this? Pointing to the other girl, right? Like, but not like pointing like outright, but I'm going to be like, did she push you up to this? Right? That's immediately value to the group. Like, holy shit. And it's also social focus, right? Because it's like, I'm just kind of creating something. Also, of course, that's like a little bit of that break, but it creates the thing. It creates the intrigue, right? It's going to make the one girl laugh. One girl is going to feel like she kind of got taken from a little bit here, right? But it's funny, and she's like, no, we have a little party. Like, so you're telling me you're the mom of the group here. You're the one who put them all up to this. You're the coordinator here. And you'd be like, no, I'm not, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, so you're just the administrator. You're the one who coordinated the outfits. You're the one who made sure, like, okay, guys, we're not going to show any cleavage, blah, blah, blah. Make sure it's white on top, black on bottom. Like, what font did you use in your email? Right? Like, immediately this is creating all this rich content, right? Like, coming in off of this. I've not shown any interest whatsoever. I am literally just a dude on the street who just accidentally kind of have noticed something and observed. They don't know if I have a girlfriend. They don't even know if I'm gay. Like, they don't know anything. And so this is when I talk about indirect, is I'm coming in and I'm opening off the vibe. In his situation, he opens direct, and that may have been because he didn't have very much time to think, whatever, right? Maybe it's just his own preferred thing. But he needs to kind of jump back into that as soon as he can whenever he's getting all these IODs. So he can then take what I would have said, right? Whenever she's like, they're like, rather than stacking to like, where are you guys from? I would have jumped to like the whole, like the thing about the white clothes. If he's still stacked, right? And he said he could have said it like this, like, where are you guys from? He needs to let that hit. Instead, he takes he rushes it out. Where are you guys from? And then he takes a guess. Argentina? Right? Like, that's filling the rapport gap. He's afraid they're not going to answer. So he's already answering for them. So I would have been like, where are you guys from? And they would have said, like, the pause is going to develop, because the way I've said it has a little bit of a break, almost like a tiny bit of rapport breaking in it. They're going to let it break, let it hit. Like, they're going to wait just to see if I feel it. I won't. Then they're going to reply. And when they say like Switzerland, you'd be like, bullshit. And the girl's like, what? And be like, girl, you got to make it at least a little bit believable if you're going to lie to me. Like, no, we really are. I swear to God, we're from Switzerland. Like, no, you guys are like from either Colombia, Argentina. Well, that's pretty much it. Where you guys, like, spill the beans, girl. Like, no, we swear to God, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not going to call you a liar. I just think it's really crazy and weird. Like, that's how you immediately, but the way that hits is not because of what I'm saying. It's the way that I'm saying it. I'm letting that rapport gap, like those breaks in there, like tiny breaks, it's the way I'm saying it. Where are you guys from? Holding that, right? Letting that develop. When they comply, eventually, we're from here. Most guys are like, oh my God, I got this compliance. I need to run with it. Oh, you're from here. Wow, I've been there. Blah, 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 blah. They are complying. I am going to actually break back, right? Remember, a break is not like doing something cold. It's taking a risk that a guy who's desperate wouldn't take. So a guy who's desperate is not going to call them kind of a liar, right? You're increasing the odds that this is not going to work out. We create that risk. So when they say, yeah, where are you guys from? And they're like, Switzerland. You're like, bullshit. But you say it like that, right? Like, bullshit. Like, smiling, right? You guys can't see, but I'm smiling. Like, bullshit. Now that's increased the risk. Like, how are you going to call me bullshit? Blah, blah, like what, right? It's increased the risk. That is what kind of pulls them in, because it creates trust. A guy who's needy is not going to create trust like that. He's not going to take that risk. Now we can be sure that this guy is not chasing us and that he might actually be offering some sort of value here, right? It's creating that risk. It's not like, oh, you're such a fucking liar, blah. Like, that's like way too strong, right? Like, it's still a flirtatious, like, I still like you. I have good intentions here. I am a kind person. I'm just having fun. I'm just ribbing you, girl. Like that's kind of how that actually is. And I want to make sure that I'm very clear, but you can see that the risk is being taken on that. We can also see another advantage here of running this indirect kind of style that I like to use is because when he comes in, like, and he's talking direct to these girls and he's communicating interest. What if he later eventually settles for this girl right over here? She's gonna know all along that he actually wanted the other girls and that he kind of just settled for her. If we stay indirect the entire time, we can figure out which ones are into us, and it still gives us the plausible deniability to kind of try to trade up and open and crack the group without hurting any feelings. So the way I would have ran this is I would have come in indirect, exactly like how I mentioned, talking about something socially, the fact that they're all wearing white, right? I would have gotten all the IODs probably from all the other girls, but it doesn't matter because I haven't really showed a lot of interest. So the power of that IOD drops whenever I haven't really shot my shot yet because I haven't placed a bid, so I'm not being rejected. This other girl on the right here is the one who's kind of into us, right? I would have pivoted away from those other girls. I probably would have actually never had my body language facing them really kind of anyways. I probably would have made it look like I was kind of just saying this in passing, right? So I would have opened at an angle. We've talked about that on the night game podcast. And then what's going to happen is you're going to notice that this girl over here does seem to be already kind of into us. She's at least facing us. She's smiling, right? So those are all things that can justify us kind of continuing the conversation. None of these other girls are giving anything. Then what's going to happen is that as this conversation gets rich, we're going to use this as a way to kind of like bring up other things, right? So when I would talk about this, like this vibe focus, this social focus, let's talk about some examples of threads that we could have gone down here to illustrate that. So one thing here that happens is like, so if I'm over here and this girl's investing, these girls are not. So I kind of would have had my body language more facing this girl, but also rocked back, right? So that way I can really demonstrate to the group, like once she starts to really like me, they're going to understand why I'm justified to stay in the group because their friend really, really likes me. Like I'm not trying to stay in the group. I'm actually got a thing to do here. But I mean, when they look at it, they're like, oh crap, we can't leave because Sophia over here is just so into Angel. So we're going to have to hang. So looking for things that we could talk about here, like social vibe focus with this girl who I'm already kind of talking to, right? I would be facing her, kind of noticing things over here. It's okay for me to notice things that our friends are doing because it's still relevant to the situation, right? So here, let's watch.
I just moved here from California.
All right. So there's a bunch of different things. See how she just took a picture of herself over here, right? I probably would have said something to the girl over here on the far right. I probably would have said something like, damn, she really likes that wall, right? Like if she's just taking a picture of herself with the wall behind there, right? And if that would have kind of like if she would have responded or it would have been heard, I would have been like, what does make a good wall? Right? Like obviously you're a wall connoisseur. So what qualities do you really look for in a wall? Like this is just fun social vibe, but you can also understand we're creating breaks, but we're creating value in the group. That's funny, right? I mean, if done right, especially if we have already kind of gained the approval of one of the girls in the group and one of the girls in the group likes us, that's something that we can kind of do. And you see how it's plausible, deniable? Like we are slightly dogging on her just a little bit, but we're doing so in a funsy way. And it's like, I still like you, girl. Don't worry. Like you're adorable. You're beautiful. You have your own thing. Don't even worry. Right. Like you can make up for that later on, like, with some sort of heat or something like that, like into the group. Another thing here that I noticed is, and I noticed this when I first watched this through, because I'm always reading so much. Like I don't really think about what I'm saying. I just think about where to put my focus when I'm in a group. And I noticed that this one girl over here, her shirt says Alo or Ola, right? I would have probably, let's see if I can, this girl right here, her shirt says Alo or Ola. I would have definitely used something on that. I've been like, yeah, I was like 99% sure that you guys were Latina because who walks around with a shirt that says Hola? Something like that, right? Like, or I could have used it as this part of the Swiss joke. If, oh, that's probably why your shirt says Allo. Is that like Swedish for hello? Something like that, right? Whatever bullshit. I mean, that's not the greatest line, but I probably would have gone something like that. If we're already deep into this and they've already said that they're Swiss, another line that I probably would have said, and granted, by the way, I'm not really facing the group here. I've been like, wait, you guys are Swiss? And you guys are all like dressed like all in white. Isn't that kind of like racist? Like, aren't you guys like supposed to be neutral? Like play into that, right? And if they get like mad about it, be like, bro, this is not neutrality. This is not like, guys, remember your heritage. Be neutral. Like you see how this is just funny. I don't know how to describe this, right? But you're these are all very tiny breaks. Like I'm being dominant. I'm telling them what to do. I'm painting them into little boxes. You're this, you're that. Each time you're taking this little risk because it's like a guy who's not trying to piss them off won't do that. But you see how slight this is. It's ultra slight. If it's heavy handed at all, they're going to reject you because it's just too much. It needs to be like he's offering value. He's a fun guy. He's creating drama and chick crack and stuff that's like, wow, I can't not like, of course I want to talk about that. That is funny. That is intrigue. But at the same time, he's taking these risks that make me also trust him. It's not like he's coming in with this power play and already giving like these breaks out that are just like he's not giving anything back. If I didn't have good vibe, that's not going to work. Or if my focus is specific, like I'm already talking about, like I'm literally like just like serious here. I'm not having any vibe. And then I'm dropping these breaks. I'm not giving anything in return. So they're just going to say, well, you're just trying to take power here. There's no reason for you to say that because you're obviously not having a good time in the conversation yourself. So there's just no reason for you to walk up to these random girls and kind of start saying stuff that just takes from us. It's okay whenever you're giving a lot, right? Like if you're giving it your natural emotions, like you have good emotions, you're creating fun things. I'm talking about them, right? So that in and of itself is fascinating. I'm not talking about me, right? So I'm giving in a lot of ways, but I'm also taking these breaks, these risks that say, hey guys, you can trust me. And it also stirs the pot just a little bit, right? So I think sometimes that can be really helpful to illustrate. You know, when I say this stuff online, people are like, I don't understand how this actually looks like in a situation. This is actually how it looks and how it sounds. And the last thing I want to talk about here, I want to run through this again, is I just want to make sure you guys are cluing into these I pings. I talk about iGame a lot, understanding pings, understanding this transfer of information. This is part of social vision. As we showed earlier, this girl right here, she's given IODs, but we can read over here that this girl's into us because one, she is engaging, she's smiling, right? She seems to be the one, she's not given any IODs, she's just kind of chilling there. Whenever he says, hey, I think you guys are Latina, she's like, oh my God, he said Latina, right? So she's engaged, she's investing. And then you can see the I ping. She looks at her friend gets the information back. And then the other ping was this other girl on the side, giving the other girl an IOD that said, don't egg him on. I don't want him here because he seems to keep talking to me, the short girl, the blonde one, right? So I want you guys to kind of see this in real time, and we're going to play this right through.
Want to say hi. Where are you guys from? Argentina?
There was the I code. That was the I code, the first I code.
Oh, I thought you guys were Latina. Yeah, you guys are kind of like Latina, sort of. I just moved here from California.
Second I code.
Are you here for vacation or? All right.
Like he should have at this point, like already kind of known, like the girl on the right is really his best way in. Even if not, like this is just there's just nowhere to go here. Like he's just running straight full frontal into the machine gun nest here. This girl, this is a face, guys, that is never ever going to be into you. Like you're going to have to. His only really way in this group is to work on the girl on the right. Now, if he's indirect, it's going to be a lot easier because he buys himself so much time. He can create value through the group from that, right? Justifying his reason that he's staying there and then gradually building this social status in the group. If he maintains his indirectness long enough, it's justifiable for the girls to try to then steal me from the other girl because I haven't shown any real interest. When you come in direct, you know the reason you're there. That implies that if I'm staying there and talking to the other girl, it's because I'm into her, right? Because I wouldn't have come into the group if I wouldn't have been into you guys, right? It's not like I can just suddenly go back to like this social kind of guy, right? I've already shown interest. I've already shown my intent and the reason that why I want to be here. Whereas if he stays indirect, he has this plausible deniability of why he's in the group. He can kind of stay sticky in that group. The other girls can see that the other girl is trying to get me, but hasn't really got me yet. And that leaves me as an open candidate for a while. I can justify why I'm staying there over time. I might even be able to slot myself into kind of what they're doing. Where y'all going? Let's go ahead and do that. And because it's framed as the burden is on the other girl, the girl on the far right, to be into me. They're going to do that and let me come along because they want me to stay in the group. They want to help her get her man, right? But as they're investing and working, that quickly becomes, we're trying for him. I'm putting in, this is the guy I put effort into. Even though at first they're doing it to put in effort on behalf of their girlfriend, it becomes very quickly confused in their mind that like, actually, this is just a guy I put in effort for. And that becomes, they start to very quickly become attracted to that, right? They're investing. I've trained them to invest. Not only that, I can see that investment and then also start to kind of like break back to that. So now I can kind of continue to give them IODs, especially since like at first it's almost like, it feels almost like I'm platonic because the other girl is into me and I don't owe these other girls anything. And yet I'm in the group and I have the right to stay now. I can then start to actually kind of increase my level of kind of breakage and like in flirting with these other girls. And since I haven't shot my shot on anyone yet, and I'm still an open candidate in that group, it allows that attraction to build to the point that one of the other girls might actually like me and probably will actually like me. And then at some point, she's going to pull rank and take me from the other girl. And all I have to do at that point is I haven't made my choice yet. I never made my choice. I get to pick, right? And then eventually when I'm like, the two girls like me, I can tell they both like me. I just picked the other one, right? And then the other girl's like, he picked me. Whereas like if you come in and you shoot your shot, you've already made your pick, right? And so it makes it a lot harder later on to go back and have that kind of power. That's one of the superpowers of having indirect, coming in indirect, and just keeping indirect in general. So that's kind of like my focus. That's kind of the way I do this. And when I talk about indirect, I'm typically opening out of the vibe. I'm typically opening out of something that I've noticed, something that has caught my attention. And I'm just being a social person and just talking about this literally as if I was just like a dude who had, was married to the hottest girl in the world or something like that. I'm a movie star, right? Like, hey, I just talk to people, right? And that's the advantage of having that is it pays us huge dividends in trust in our ability to move around in that group without having to kind of get siloed in on the one girl already. Because if he silos in on this one girl who's already been direct with, the other girls are going to be like, okay, cool, that's all he can get. He shot with us. We didn't like him, so now he's been rejected. Whereas if you do indirect, you've never really been rejected. And so you still have your chance to make your choice. And part of pushing the burden is to be able to have that second choice. Even if you want me, I may not want you back, is the fundamental part of like indirect game, right? And so we preserve that, and it becomes an advantage later on whenever we've used the fact that this other girl likes us as our justification to be there and our shield with the other girls. And then later on, once the other girls start to like us, the other girl doesn't look bad by stealing me from her, because it's like, he never chose. Like he never communicated an interest in any of us. I'm the first girl he was interested in. It's a major advantage. Anyways, we're going to let that wrap this up today. And I hope this is a good breakdown of this, and benefited a lot of guys. And hopefully in the future, we're going to continue to do more of this on my YouTube channel. I think this is good to be able to see this visually and help guys to understand how this translates in the real life. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys.